All right, let me welcome my guest for this hour to discuss. Joining me now from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, criminal defense attorney Michael Gottlieb. Michael, great to see you, my friend. I just want to get your initial thoughts of this defendant on the stand right now under direct examination. You know, to be honest, Michael, to me, he seems a little reserved in his answering to be claiming self-defense in this big murder case at such a young age. I'm not hearing much confidence in his voice. What are your thoughts?
So first of all, thanks for having me on, Cody. It's always a pleasure. You know, I'm looking at him and I see a kid who is filled with remorse and regret. And I think that that's apparent from how he's testifying. But I agree that what's not translating here, at least in my opinion, is that he felt a significant amount of fear, enough fear to warrant having to arm himself with a deadly weapon. And I think the Q&A is going too much where there's too much question and not enough answer, and we're not really hearing enough from him. And so that's not translating, and it's not personable enough, but maybe that'll come out later.
That's a great point there too, Michael, because I was thinking the same thing a little bit earlier. He has to do a little bit more to humanize himself, be, like you said, personable to the jury, see him as the human being versus, you know, just the kid on trial. Let me ask you, Michael, you know, kids get in fights, especially young men. They've been doing it since the dawn of time. But, you know, introducing weapons, let alone deadly weapons, into a fight kind of, you know, ups the ante a little bit. You know, we heard of that first fight earlier in this trial at the St. Joseph's party. He used a motorcycle helmet to throw at somebody, and now we know he ultimately had the knife at this second party in the same night. How do you think the jury is digesting that information, and do you think him having that deadly weapon during a fist fight hurts his defense?
So I think, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And when you see that video and you see all those kids ganging up on and throwing punches, and there's, you know, the video goes real fast and it's dark, whether there's kicks and hair pulling and whatever, you know, when you see that and you're outmanned, you know, outgunned, so to speak, then I think, you know, to level the playing field in a self-defense case, it is okay to arm yourself. But again, you've got to translate that fear. And this is clearly prepped testimony. I mean, you can kind of see that. And again, what's not coming across is that he really felt like he was in danger of great bodily harm, death. It was imminent, and I had no choice but to grab that knife out of my pocket and wildly swing it at these people who were beating me, who were bruising my ribs, who were punching me in the face. That's what's missing. But that video shows, you know, that it was necessary because there was an attacking mob. And I think they need to highlight that more.
Absolutely. You know, Michael Gottlieb, we always appreciate your insight. You're sticking around with us this hour. We do have to squeeze in a break.